After a week of taking the pills, I am now definitely sure we are on the right track.
That's awesome. Do you think I can try it on myself?
100%. Try it, Stella. It is certainly safe for healthy people.
I will take a double dosage today.
Hello, Kim. What's up?
Bad news, Dr. Miller. I am sorry to tell you, all the mice under the Fleeksign medication have just died. All of them.
Stella.
LV2. This should refer to level 2.
I am already past level 1. Nothing of interest, so far.
Then, be careful at level 2. Try not to miss any clue.
I'll do my best. Finally finished. What's that?
Did you find anything?
You can call it a jackpot. It seems at the end of each level, the game gives you a password. You can use it to skip level 1, in case you want to play the game at another time.
So, that's it?
Are you thinking what I am thinking, officer?
I'm sure of it, Joanna. Let us use it on Ben's phone.
Roger. I think we're very close to getting the last piece of the puzzle. The password is Omega 5, 3, Alpha, #key. It worked.
Let us see if he sent, or received, any messages before his death.
The social message app. Here we go.
Have you got any messages?
There is only one message. It seems Ben had worked hard on his privacy. It is from someone with the name, Jessica. And it reads, "Goodness gracious. Officer, you really need to read it."
Why shouldn't I be surprised?
So, we need now to talk to the inspector, right?
Yes, let us go to his office now.
But, I think he left early. Every week, he goes somewhere outside the town. He is discreet about where he goes.
I am sure I can figure out where he is now.
Well, with this clue revealed, we don't need to consult with Einstein for an answer. I'll get the car ready.
The sunset. How beautiful. Stella, for the star. How did you know I am here?
Mr. Inspector?
The code is broken. We've solved the puzzle of Ben's death.
The sunset this evening is so beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is spectacular.
My daughter always loved the sunset. She used to say, "The sun is going away, leaving us with its best wishes for a new morning tomorrow."
And, was your daughter's name Stella?
Or, probably, her real name is Lavender.
I told you, officer. I have always wished to be working with smart people like you and Joanna.
And, we have always wished to work with an inspector, whose hands are clean. Someone who would serve justice, rather than take the law into his own hand.
What do you mean?
Well, I think it is time to put the record straight, and start up with some sort of a chronological order.
I am listening.
Last year, you came to our town, just after Stella died. You had already devised a way to take revenge. Without Stella, you are alone in the world, especially because your wife had died long time ago. We now know that you and your wife got divorced when Stella was in her cradle. As a settlement at court, you both agreed that Stella would take her mother's surname. But you always wanted your daughter to have the name Lavender.
She would always love me to take her to the garden. Lavender was her most favorite. When her mother died, Lavender was just 4 years old. She had a big heart for humanity and wanted to be a doctor to save lives. I don't remember the subject of my repeated bickering with her mother, but I hope it was something worth the divorce.
Stella told you about the experiment she was doing with Ben. She also told you about her intention to test the pills on herself. It was too late to dissuade her. You remember, you said she was stubborn.
After you learned about the car accident, you were confident it was the pills. At which point, you decided to revenge. And who is the one to blame?
Look, officer. What you say is nothing but unfounded speculation. I wouldn't harm anybody, not to mention killing a friend, like Ben.
I haven't said that. You set your mind to a plan, and you waited for a chance. The right time came when you learned that Olivia was at hospital with her mother. The flex sign was ready to be put in Ben's food. You just needed a pawn to frame.
I was at the hospital because of the fever, but that does not mean I am a murderer.
Mr. Inspector, we are not pointing to you as a potential killer. So, please, let Officer Judy finish her talk first.
Okay. I will keep silent until the end.
The first thing you did was to call Ben. He is your friend, you know, and wouldn't suspect your invitation to have some snack in the park. But there was the fear that the jealous wife could tail him there and spoil your entire scheme. So, you thought of having her go to the shrubs at an earlier time. She wouldn't find anybody, give up and go back home, not to return, of course. You used the right time at hospital. Don't tell me you went to hospital at 6. You were there much earlier. It wasn't difficult to write a message on her mobile phone. And, when she arrived to the shrubs, you were watching her from a distance in your car, but as she was in a hurry, she forgot the keys in the car's lock. You immediately snatched the keys. When she returned, she realized that her keys were gone. Not finding anything on the scene, she went back home, using the spare key. As planned, Ben came on time. You went there with turkey sandwiches stuffed with a high dosage of Flexine. I could imagine you ensured he would eat it all, then left him to die and moved away. But not before dropping Olivia's key near his body.
You have a vivid imagination, officer. You might have forgotten that Mrs. Miller's keys had no other fingerprints than the janitor's.
No, I do remember that. For the time being, I am going to assume that you had a change of heart and simply rubbed the key with your handkerchief, erasing all traces that could otherwise point to your direction.
You're really making me angry. I cannot believe you are basing all your arguments on such shallow circumstantial evidence. I have nothing to do with Ben's death. He deserves the worst for pushing my daughter to her demise, but I haven't killed him.
Talking about evidence, Inspector, how do you account for your footprints on the scene next to Ben's body?
I've been really too patient with you both. Didn't you see me on the scene that night? Sure thing, the scene would have my footprints.
We arrived at the scene together, all of us. But we used the emergency gate. Your footprints were found on the trail leading to the visitor's gate. Don't you think it is too obvious?
Anyways, we don't have a proof to incriminate you. Even if you confess to us, you know and I know you can easily make a retraction at trial, and with the lack of hard evidence, you will walk out from the court clean.
You've made a good point.
It is better to get it out of your chest today, than continue coming here to the place where your daughter died for the rest of your life.
Okay. Officer. I will tell you everything.
No necessary to tell us everything. We've already known a lot.
Then, what do you want me to say?
Tell us what happened in the shrubs. That is the final piece of the puzzle we are looking for.
Everything you said is true. I met him, upon my request, in the shrubs. He never suspected anything and I had the poisonous sandwich. Lavender had already told me that flexin cannot be detected in blood analysis, hence came the idea to me. After 2 hours or so, I knew the poison would go to his heart and make him meet the same fate he caused to my baby. I took my revenge, as I saw his face getting pale after I revealed my true identity. It serves him right. Tit for tat, and justice is served. The idiot never suspected who I was and never thought I could kill him that easy.
You are dead wrong, Inspector. Ben had known everything about you. And he knew you were planning to kill him that night.
No, he couldn't have been as smart.
He left us a coded message to guide me and Joanna in solving this puzzle.
A coded message?
Here you are, if interested to see.
I cannot see a code. It is nothing but a shopping list.
The last line indicates a game he used to play. It points us to a password that appears in the game after finishing level 1.
That was the password of his phone. And we found a message in his social messenger app.
So smart of him to know. But he didn't show any threat of doubt as he devoured the poisonous sandwich.
Then, probably you should have made a closer look at the shopping list.
The shopping list?
If you take the first letters, they make a word.
Socrates.
The philosopher who died by hemlock?
Not only this, Inspector.
What else then?
Socrates took the poison voluntarily.
What are you saying?
Ben accepted your death sentence. He wanted to atone for the disaster he perceived he had done to you.
He could no longer live with those feelings of guilt and shame.
There is something that you don't know. Very recently, a peer experiment proved Flexine was safe for healthy people. The rats had died of other factors.
It can't be true.
Ben died of a natural heart attack. He certainly did not die of the medicine.
Just as Lavender died by an ordinary car accident. She did not die of the medicine either.
The case is closed. There is yet something that I cannot understand. Did you rub the keys to retract on your initial plans to implicate Olivia?
Or probably, that was out of a habit. Something that those with dark secrets in their lives are accustomed to.
Does it have to do with how your wife died, for example? Or it may relate to a nasty thing you are trying to hide? That would be a speculation only, but what I am sure of is that you have to reconsider staying in a position of a person who is supposed to be serving people. Not a person who acts like a god who can tamper with other people's destination.
I will follow your advice in earnest, officer. In the meantime, I hope you leave me alone, reflecting on this scenery.
Why should all this happen? To those brilliant minds and pure souls.
The world was too small for them, Joanna. I am sure they are in a better place.
I wonder what were her last words, before the accident.
We don't know. Nobody knows.
We live in a time of extraordinary change. Change that's reshaping the way we live, the way we work, our planet, our place in the world. It's change that promises amazing medical breakthroughs that save lives and change the course of our futures. I've finally made it. I am now a doctor.
Lavender. Those who suffer need you to be something more than a doctor. They need you to be a healer, and to become a healer, you must do something even more difficult than putting your white coat on. You must take your white coat off. You must recover, embrace, and treasure the memory of your shared, frail humanity, of the dignity in each and every soul.